Hello students. Today we are going to look into the second program, that is TCP uh, IP. So you are supposed to write a client program as well as a server program. So now both the program will be running. From client program, now you are going to request one particular file. Okay, you are going to request a file name. So now the server is going to accept that and it searches for that particular file. If the file is present, it is going to send that file to the client. Okay, so this is the program what we are going to do. So let us start our virtual machine. We know that. So after starting our virtual machine, so we are going to invoke or log on to our Ubuntu operating system, so that we will be trying to work this TCP as well as the server and the client program in our Ubuntu or Linux, in whichever the operating system, especially the Linux versions of operating system, we will be trying to do it here. So okay, our Ubuntu is starting. So basically here, so you are going to write the two programs. One is the client program as well as the server program. So you should be very careful when you are working with the especially the socket programming, because you know that we are supposed to include a lot of header files and various built-in functions we are going to use. So which helps us to execute the socket as well as the that is the server and client program, and how you are going to create the socket. So some of the basic things we try to learn by using or by executing this simple program. So obviously that many of the commands what you are going to use now, it will be the same in any other programs which you want to create. Okay, so let us start. Let's log into our operating system. So once you are logging in, so as you know that since you have already executed one program and you have learned some basic commands of Unix operating system, now we will open a terminal. Okay, so we'll go to the dashboard, search for a terminal. Yes, so we are going to open the terminal. Okay, so I will go to the some directories which has been already created. So I'll go to that directories. So now gedit, so you know that we are going to use the gedit. So first we are going to start with the client program, right? So we'll type gedit client.c. Okay, so this is the editor we have opened. So let us start by including some of the header files. So first we will include stdio.h, right? So then we are going to include another header file. This is a very important header file called as arpa/inet.h. Now this is a header file you are going to use. Now why we are going to use this particular header file, arpa/inet.h? Now this is a particular header file, so which invokes all the protocol suites, right? What all the protocol suites are required, the thing. Now it is present in this particular header file, arpa/inet.in. So next we are going to include another header file called as fcntl.h. Now this is a header file, fcntl.h. Now this is used for working with some of the network functions. Now some of the networking functions are present in this particular header file. And the last header file which you are going to include is so unistd.h. So be very careful with this unistd.h. Now this particular header file, now it is used to access some of the POSIX operating system commands. So we have got some of the Unix operating system commands to invoke, so we are going to use this header file. Now these are the four very important header files which we are going to include in our program. So now we will start with our main program. So int main. So then we are going to define some variables. So as you know that whether you are working with a client or whether we are working with a server, so first thing is socket is required for us. So until and unless you create a socket, you cannot send a particular message from one system to the another system. Now let us, since we are writing client program, now let us create a socket called as client socket, C underscore SOC. Any variable name we can use here. We are going to create one client socket and another one number n we are going to use, right? Now, so client, what is the task of the client? Now client has to send the file name, right? So you have, the client will send for one particular file name, and that file name the server is going to read that particular file name. So here, so we are going to take some characters because you want to send a file name, so we'll take some buffer. So we are going to consider some buffer as one character array or a string array. So we will define some values here. So then we need a file name, so we are going to send one particular file name, so we'll give it as 50 characters, right? So this is some character variables we are going to take. So next is very important, so look into this particular thing. So you are going to define one structure, struct space. So you are going to define a structure called as socket address. So SOCKADDR underscore in. So just note it very carefully. So what we are defining, you are going to define a structure socket SOC. You have to just write very careful. You should be very careful with these built-in whatever the variable names you are going to use. So you are going to create an object or a member of this particular socket. What is that? SOCKADDR underscore in. So the name we are going to use is ADDR. Now why we are going to why this particular socket is being the structure is being used, you will come to know that. So now this is a built-in structure now which defines various member function which we are going to define later part. So next, now what we are going to do is, now we are going to create a socket. So you are going to create a socket, so or we can say that socket creation. So why we are going to create a socket? Now socket acts as an end point, right? It is going to act as an end point for the communication. So we are going to create a socket here. Now how we are going to create a socket? So now this particular the socket, it creates an endpoint for the communication and returns a file description. So what is the socket variable we have used? C underscore sock is equal to the function we are going to use is socket, SOCKET, right? Now this is going to create a socket. Now it has three variables. So first is the address family. Now what are the address families you are going to have? So which address, which family you want, whether you want an internet family or whether you want something related to the operating system. So here now we are going to use AF capital letter, take it capital letter AF underscore INET. Now this is one internet family you are going to use. The first variable or the argument for this socket is which is the family you are going to use. So we just give just internet family. So if you are very specific about which particular protocol you are going to use, then that variable you are supposed to use here, right? Now the second we are going to use SOCK underscore STREAM. Now sock underscore stream. Now this is used for TCP connection. So you know that whether you want an UDP or a TCP, now we are going to use a TCP. So you are going to use a sock underscore stream. And the third variable, now it is the 0. So now these are the three variables which we have used for creating a socket, right? Now once you have created a socket, so next you are going for socket address. So we are going to use this particular built-in structure what we have defined as a name ADDR, because every time you need not type socket ADDR underscore in. So I will be using this ADDR. So what we are doing, so you are going for a socket underscore in. So it is a, now as we told, built-in structure. So it is a built-in structure used for all your IP manipulations, right? Manipulations. Now what all the in the internet protocol manipulations now we are going to use here. So Now what we do, so what is the variable for this, the name you have used for this structure? So it is ADDR. So ADDR, right, dot, so S in small letter, ADDR dot S in underscore family. So the first member is our the family. So the ADDR dot S in underscore family, right? Now the family is, now what is the family we have selected here? AF.inet. So we are considering all the this particular address family, especially this AF underscore inet. It is used for all the internet protocol version 4, right? Now we are going to use the family as capital letter AF underscore inet is our family. So next thing which comes here is ADDR dot S in underscore port. Now you have to give a port number, right? You are going to give a port number. Now when you give a port number, now from your particular program, now this port number, when you are giving it to a TCP layer, now you cannot give directly. You have to convert this, whatever the 16-bit port number has to be converted to IP address. So we are going to give it to IP address. To do that, we are going to use a built-in function HTONS, right? HTO. So it is not 0, it is O, HTONS. Now I will, or we will give some port number, like say 7000-7500. So now this is the port number what we have given. So now this HTTONS, it converts this particular port number to IP address. So this is the second member in our socket address structure. So the third one is ADDR dot S in underscore ADDR dot S underscore ADDR, right? Now this is the third important function. So one is the family, one is the port, next is the address, right? Dot, so you have to remember ADDR dot S in underscore ADDR dot S underscore ADDR. Now here, now you are going to give the address, that is the IP address. Now how you are going to give this IP address? So you are going to use inet underscore ADDR, internet address or IP address, double quotation. So like say, if you know which is the our IP address, right? So we know that how to check the IP address. So we will say I122.0.0.1. So this is the IP address what you are going to give here. Suppose say that if we don't know the particular IP address in our system, so generally this is, or we can use 0.0.0.0 as your IP address by default. Suppose say that if you don't know a particular IP address, now you can use another particular way in which you can just give for any IP address. That means since you don't know the IP address, now if you, instead of that, because if IP address are not matching, so the socket cannot be created and you cannot send the packets or the message in that particular socket. So here what we can do is that address, you can specify that INADDR underscore NE, INADDR underscore NE. So that means it might be any IP address. Now you are going to have a socket and you are going to create the connection. Now these are the three important lines. Now you can see that these codings will be same in our client program also, because client program also you have to create a socket. There also the server program, this is the client what we are writing now. In server program also you need to create a socket. There also you have to use this structure sock address. Family also required, port number also same port number you have to give, and the IP address, right? Now once you have done with these things, next is that now you are going to connect. So you are supposed to connect to the server. So next you have to keep connecting to your server. Now how you are going to use? Now you are going to use a function called as connect, right? Now what we do is we use that in a while loop. So we'll say while connect. Now this is your function, CONNECT. Now you are going to connect to your socket, right? What is the variable we have used for socket? So we have used C underscore socket, right? So this is the C underscore socket we have used. Now this connect function, CONNECT, yes, correct. So this connect function, it is going to take the arguments, right? It is going to take two arguments. The first argument is the socket, right? It is going to take three arguments actually. The first one is the which is that socket you want to connect. So you have created a client socket, so C underscore socket, comma, then you have to give the address, because you have to connect. So you have to pass all these things, whatever the address, port number, and what is the internet family. Now to do that, now what we do, we are going to pass that structure. So what is the structure what we have used? SOCKADDR. So now since it is a structure and it has got so many member functions in this particular structure, now we pass the address, that is we try to pass the pointer. So how you are going to pass the pointer of the structure? So we will say star, right, star, then space, ampersand, addr. So we are going to pass the address of, that is the entire pointer for this structure addr, so that all these details are been received, right? And the third argument, what is the size? So size of your structure, that is size of addr. So this is the three arguments. Now remember properly to close the bracket. How many brackets you have opened? So you are supposed to close the bracket carefully. Now here you have used the while loop. Now why we have used this here? While inside while we have put this connect. So that means we keep on trying. The client keeps on trying to connect the server. Once the connection is established, then only the work will be going on. So or else, see, usually this connect, it returns one integer. Now you can store that in one particular variable and you can check the connection, so whether the connection is established or not. If connection is not established, you can print one message. So like this you can gradually try to build your program. But right now we are keeping the program as simple as possible. So we are going to connect to this particular socket. So next, so we are going to say printf, right? Now what is the thing you want? So you are going to say, see, client is connected. So once connection is established, you print a message saying that client is connected to server, right? So /n. So client is connected, because you are taking the connection, you have used the connection. Now once client is connected to the server, now what the client has to do? So it has to give one file name, right? So it has to send one file name to the server. So we will say printf double quotation /n, enter the file name. So I will give a particular file. You just type a file name, right? Now client is providing a file name. Now since you are providing a file name, so you have to accept the name of the file. So scanf, %s, comma. Now which is the variable we have used for file name? So we have taken a variable called file name, right? So here we have defined a variable, character variable. That is why you are using %s. So you accept the file name, right? So now whatever the file name client wants to search in the server, is going to pass to the server, and server is going to search for this particular file name. So it is present in f name. So now you have to send this file name to the server. So what is the next step you are doing? Send the file name to the server. So now how you are going to send? Now you are going to use a function called as send. This is another the function. So you are going to use the send function to send this file name to the server. So we are going to connect with your socket. So s underscore socket, comma, pass this file name, that is f name as your argument, and the third one, what is the size? So you have to pass the size of this f name, file name. You are going to pass the size of this file name, and the last argument, the size will be 0. So this end is going to take 4 arguments, right? So you can refer how many arguments this end is going to take. So now, so we have trying to send this file name to the server. So after sending the file name to the server, so we'll try to print some message. So we'll just say that printf /n. So what will happen generally? The server is going to respond. So we'll just print some message so that we'll come to know how our program is been working. So we are going to say that server to respond, or server is responding. So next is very important. So now we keep printing on the data received from the server. So this file name, you send it to the server. Server searches for this file name and it will send the content of this file back to the client, right? So the whatever the file name you are sending to the server will look into that file. It searches for that file. Then whatever the content are there inside that file, that should send back to the server, is going to send back to the client, so that client is going to display. So now what we do, now we keep on printing. So we keep on printing the data received from server, right? So we are going to keep on printing that data. So what we do, we'll use a while loop and n, right? How many, what is the data until it is greater than n. So the number of characters is greater than, right? So you keep on doing it. So while n is equal to, you have to receive, now you have to receive the content of the file which the server is sending. So this client has to receive. So for doing that, we are going to use a built-in function called as receive, RECV. Now this is the function to receive. First you are sending, then you are going to receive. So to receive, once again, now you are going to use C_socket. So it should be coming through the socket only. You have to bind it to the socket only. Socket, comma. Now whatever it is going to receive, now you are storing it in a buffer. So we have taken here another variable buffer, right? Character variable buffer. So whatever the data or the content the server is sending, now you store it in this particular buffer. So the next argument should be size of the buffer. You have to pass what is the size of this buffer, comma, the last argument is 0. So now remember the brackets here. So now this bracket is for the receive function, the next bracket is for this n. So now you are going to see whatever you are going to keep on receiving. So this n, now we will check that, so until it is greater than 0. So until it is greater than 0, we keep on accepting all the data what the server is sending, and keeps on, it is stored in your buffer. And finally you are going to print the content what is present in our buffer. So we'll say printf %s double quotation comma buffer. So that means whatever the data now server is sending, now all that data is been written to our displayed onto our particular client machine, right? So this is what, so finally you are going to say return 0 and you are going to end your program. Now this is your client side program. So we will save this program. Yes, the program is saved. Now this is your client program. So what you have done in this particular client program now, so you have declared the structure socket address, right, of ADDR, create a socket of family AF_INET, socket stream, that is TCP you are using. Then since for this socket address, the 3, that is family, port and the address you are going to define. Then you connect to the socket. So you are going to connect to the server. That is what we are going to say. So once connection is established, the client is sending a file name. So you give the file name, you send this file name to this particular socket. Through this socket you are going to send it to the server. So now the server will respond, and the client is going to receive all the data content of the file in the buffer, and you print that on the terminal, that is on the screen, that is buffer you are going to print. Now this is the client program, right? So now we are supposed to write another program now called as the server. Clear? So now I will open another untitled document. So we will save this as, we'll go to the file folder name, right? So this untitled document. So you are going to create it as a server. So now client is over, now server is over. Now in order for your server program also, now you know that obviously you need the same header files. So what I'm doing, I'll just copy the same header files in this server and I'm going to paste it here. So of course, in order to save the time I am doing, but you type this so that you will get more comfortable in what is the header files you are going to use. So better you type it initially for practice level, you type it, so later on in the examination, so you can just copy the things which are all is common in both the client and server. So now we will start our server program. So int main. So now what are the variables I am going to use? So now here we are going to create one socket again here. So any variable you can use. So we'll create one socket and the socket is going to return something, okay, file description. So for that I am going to use another variable new socket. So file description ft and n. So these are the 4 integer variables you are going to use. Now character, so we will use a buffer, right, and file name. So whatever the file name the client is going to send, the server has to search for that particular file name, right? So the server has to check for that particular file name. So you are going to open that file name. So whatever the file, see, the client is sending a file name, the server first it has to, what it has to do, it should open that file name, then read the content in the file and send that content to the client. Server has to read that, it has to open that particular file, and whatever the contents are there inside the file, it should send it back to the client. So that is why here also we are taking the file name. So now you are supposed to create a structure here, just like what we have done here. So we are going to create in the server also. So now what we'll do, I will just copy this particular structure. So you define a structure sock address underscore in ADDR, right? So now we are going to create one structure. So what is that socket variable? We have used SOC to create a socket, right? You are going to create a socket. So now what is the family? See, what is the family? The same family we are going to use. So family is AF underscore INET, right? So AF underscore, capital letters it should be careful, AF underscore INET, comma SOCK underscore stream, comma 0. Right, you have created a socket. So next you are going to define its family and everything. So you are going to define this. So what I am doing, I am just copying the same thing and I am pasting here. So family AF underscore net, port number is 7500 and IP address, right? So once you have done with this, so next important function which comes in the server is bind. So you are supposed to bind the socket, right? Now you are going to bind the socket here. So bind SOC, comma, pass the address of the entire thing. So it is structure, right? What is the structure? SOC ADDR. Since it is, we are going to pass the address, same thing, ampersand ADDR star ampersand ADDR, comma, and size of your entire structure, size of your address. So you are going to bind the socket. So now once the socket is been binded, so that means now your server is ready. So we'll say printf /n server is online, because you have created and you have binded that. So next, server should start listening. So what? So server will be listening for the clients, because client has to connect the server, right? So what the server does, server keeps on listening for the connection. So for listening the client, now you are going to use a function called as listen. So LISTEN. So listen. So you are going to listen. So via through this particular socket. So SOC, comma 5. So 5 means like say queue, we can say, for how many how many clients is going to come connect to this particular server. So maximum 5 clients you can have here. So once it's after you start listening, so if any client comes here, any clients comes to this server, he tries to establish a connection with this server, you are going to accept a connection. So now you are going to, once the communication starts, you are going to accept the connection. So how do you accept the connection? I'll open new sock is equal to accept, ACCEPT. Now this is another function, another important function in the server side. So in server side, bind, listen and accept. So these are the 3 important functions. So now you are going to accept here. So accept, give the socket name SOC, and you are having 3 arguments here. So first one is the socket and another 2 argument is null. So you are going to type it as the null. So this is your accept function. Okay, so you can I think I will give the later on the various what is the function argument, what arguments it is there. So the notes I will be sending in the Google Classroom, or in the class, in the class we will be discussing it later. So if when you are taking bind, how many arguments it is taking and why it is there, and when you are going for accept, so it takes 3 arguments, one is the socket and the next 2 arguments we are typing it as a null. So you can just, or you can just research on these things and you can try to come to know. So once now you have accepted, once the server has accepted a connection from the client, so what is the next thing? See, at parallelly what here the client is doing is that now once here you keep on, see, you are telling while connect, you keep on trying to connect for that particular server. So once you are connected to the server, right, once the server you have connected to the server, because server keeps on listening, once a client is connected and connection has been established, now what has to do, this client here is sending a file name, right, he is going to accept and he is going to say accept a file name, and you are going to send this file name. So now the server has to receive that file name. So to receive that file name, now we are going to use a command called as receive, RECV, right, that is a function. So you are going to receive, so you are going to receive. Now what should be your socket? Now you are going to say this one, right. So new SOC comma, so what is that file name, what file name it is going to send. So and let us say 50, that size of that maximum size of the file name, and the 4th argument you are going to give it as 0. So now the whatever the file name from here the client is been sending, now it is stored in this particular f name. So once you got the file name, so now we will just print one message on the terminal saying printf/n. So client has requested for this file, so which is this, so file name. So we will just print that particular file name %yes. So client has requested for this particular file name, right. So once the server knows what is the file the client has requested, now the server has to open that file. So this server is going to open that file. So how do you open a file in C? So file description fd is equal to, you know the command open. So open the file name f name in a mode. You have to open the file in read mode. So you are going to use that. So capital O underscore RDONLY. So this is the mode in which you are going to open the file, right. So next we have so if the file is not present, right, if the file is not present, because client has given some file and server is going to search for that file. So if the file is not present, the file description, some negative numbers you are going to get. So you are going to check that. So we will just put a condition. So we are going to say if this file description is less than 0, so now the server will send one message to the client. So what is the message it sends? So the server will send so new underscore SOC comma, so what the server is going to send /n, it says that file not found So it is going to tell file not found, right? And maximum I think it is around how many characters you have to count. So total number of characters, so it will, I think it is less than 25, so 25 comma 0. So now the server, if the file is not present, if the file description is less than 0, then the server comes to know that file is not present. Whatever the file name client has given, file is not present, so it will send one message to the client saying that file is not found. Now else, suppose file is present, so what the server has to do? Now it has to read the content of the file and it should send it back to the client. So now what we do, we will use again while loop. So while n is equal to now read, so we are going to use the command called as the read. Now the server starts reading that, which file? fd. So read command, read in open bracket fd. So fd is the file description. So now it reads all the content into the buffer. The second argument will be the buffer, then size of your buffer. So what is the maximum size the buffer is having? So brackets, you should be very careful here. You see, first bracket here is for end of size, then the next one is for read, and the third one is for the n. So while it is greater than 0, now it keeps on reading. So the server has opened the file now, right? It has opened in this particular read only mode. It is not going to do any changes. It opens it in a read only mode and reads the content, and the content of the file is stored in the buffer. Now this content should be sent back to the client, right? So again you are going to use the function send. Now the server is going to send, so use the socket new underscore soc socket comma whatever it is stored in the buffer comma n comma 0, right? So totally how many the characters you are going to read. So now it sends everything back to the client. So now once everything is over, again we will print a message saying that request is sent. So the server has sent all the requests. That means the content of the file what the client has sent. So since you have opened a file, so you know that in C, whenever you open a file, you are supposed to close the file also. Close the file fd, and we say return 0. Now actually specifying you are supposed to close all the sockets also, right? So once you have opened a socket, you are supposed to close the socket at the end of the program. But anyhow, we'll keep it as simple. Only the file whatever you have opened, now you are going to close the file. Now this is your server program, right? So now you have written both the client program and the server program. Now save your file. So now we are going to compile and execute both of this program. Now how we are going to execute the both of the program? So now for doing that, so what we are doing, you are going to open a terminal, right? Now here, now we will open two terminals. Now see here, I have opened two terminal here. So now this is the folder, inside the folder where I have typed the program. Now new terminal also, you go into that respective folder now where you have your program is being typed, right? Now first let me take this terminal as my server. So I will compile my server program. So gcc server.c. So you are going to compile the server program, right? Now server program is compiled without any error. Now in the another terminal, now I will compile the client. So I am going to compile the client. So client.gcc client.c, right? Now what we have done, in one terminal we have compiled server, in another terminal we have compiled the client program. So now we will run the server program, right? We are going to run the server now. ./a.out, you know how to run, so I will give server. Now server is running. In this terminal we will come and we will run the client, a./a.out client. Right? So now, right? So once again I'm showing how we are going to exactly run this program. So open two terminals, observe carefully, open two terminals, go to your directory where you have typed your program. In both the terminal you should be in the same directory, so where you have typed your program. So one terminal will treat it as the server, right? So gcc server.c, and another terminal we will compile the client, gcc client.c. So now here, since you have compiled the client ./a.out, you are going to run the client. Now in the another terminal you are going to run the server, right? Let me once again, let us check it. So ./a.out client, gcc client.c, yes, out, the file name. So server is not running, so gcc server.c /a dot server. Now you can see here, now so ./a.out server. So this terminal server is running. Now here ./a.out client. So now what message you are getting in the client? This is your client machine, right? Now client is connected to the server. This is backside the terminal what you are having. Now the backside terminal is your the server machine, the front, this is the client. Now it is asking for enter a file name. So now you are supposed to give a file name. So let me give a file name hello. So we know that this file is not there. I know that this particular file is not there. You can create one small txt file and type hello welcome, and you can save that and you can check. But right now this file is not there. So I am giving this enter, I am entering this file name hello, and I will give the enter. So now what you can see here, that now as soon as you send this hello to the server, you are going to get a message saying that server is online and it is requesting for file hello, right? So it is requesting for the file hello. But if its server searches for this file name hello and that file is not present, so now what it is giving back to the client, it is telling that received response. What is that response it has received? File is not found, file not found. This is the response what it has been received from the server. And you can see here request sent. So server has sent a request whatever the client is asking. Clear? So now let us give some other program and we'll see. So I'll stop the, now you can see here the server is not running, right? So first again here I am going to start the server. Now again here we'll start the client. So it is not connecting. So let me once again connect. Server. Yes, now it is connected. Okay, now file name. Now I will give a particular file name. Let us say that just now we have typed this particular program, right? Now I will give that file name. What is that? So I will give a file name called as client.c. This is the file name. I will give the client.c file name. You just see what happens now. This file name goes to the server. Server will open this client. You know that client.c is there because just now we have typed the program. Now the file is already present. Server opens this file client.c in a read mode and it takes the content of that file and it puts it into, it sends it to the client machine. Now you'll see here. Now you can see. Now this is the, see what you are getting. This is your complete client program. See here, actually here you are passing, you are saying enter file name client.c. As soon as you give this file name, it comes to the server, and you are saying server is online, requesting for file. So which is the file name you have? Client is requesting client.c, request sent. So you can see in your client machine now the complete this client.c program is being printed on the receiver side, that or on the client side, right? Now this is your what is the second program, that is the socket programming, where you are just creating a simple client program as well as the server program. Clear? So now you just observe this it properly. Anyhow, I will be sending the entire program also in the classroom. Try to write the program properly without any mistake in your observation book, so that in the next lab now you can practice this particular program. Right? Clear? So I will wind up this class here itself. So thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.